Hi, I'm back again now. Winter's coming with a few more videos looking at Reason, currently on Reason 11 Suite, and I'm going to provide a few tips I've picked up over the years whilst using Reason. Today I want to take a look at something called remote bass. So if you've got a MIDI keyboard that you're using with Reason, you've probably moved away from using the mouse and keyboard for navigation on quite a few of the features within Reason. So here I've got a Nektar Panorama P4, and this has super deep integration with Reason for controlling all aspects of the mixer, the individual devices, all the buttons and knobs that you can think of. And there's some folks out there doing some great mappings for all the new devices that come along, and a variety of things to check out. But so if you want to take a look at that, stay tuned and we'll take a look at remote bass using a MIDI controller with Reason 11 Suite. So if you've been using Reason for a while, you probably know that you can obviously interact with the mouse and keyboard, and if we take a look at the SSL mixer here, there are various ways that you can set focus on different channel strips here. So you notice this little red mark every time I click on a channel strip moves to that particular channel strip. That means it's getting focus. So if we find synth 3 here in the rack here, and if we were to click on it there, it already had focus, but it would get focus again. So let's go down and take a look at synth 4. If I click on it here, the focus changes. So as I'm clicking on these strips, the channel strip here, or the mix channel in here, it gets focus. So let's go back to 3 for a second. So when you've laid down your track, or probably while you're creating it, you might want to control the way that you're mixing this thing, and sometimes it's quite nice if you've got a MIDI keyboard to be able to do that. So if you look at the P4, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 sliders on here that you can control part of the SSL mixer. Okay, so once you've set up your drivers for your MIDI keyboard, you should be able to right click on the SSL mixer here and lock Nektar Panorama to mixer mode for the SSL mixer, and there's another option here, lock Nektar Panorama to this device. So that globally locks the mixer section here to the SSL in Reason, but you can also, it's the great thing about Nektar, I can also lock it to an individual device as well. So we're going to focus on 3 to start with, so let's just lock it here to that. Okay, so you might also have noticed here this little yellow indicator that's sitting on synth 3. So synth 3's got focus because of the red bar, what we just talked about. So this indicator here is the remote channel bass indicator. Okay, and you can set this a couple of ways. So the simplest way to do it is by right clicking on that channel strip and doing set remote bass channel. But being as we're talking about here controlling Reason from a MIDI keyboard, there is a better way that you can control it from your P4 as well without having to keep clicking around as you're listening or auditioning your mix channels on a track. So I'm just going to play this section here and we'll see how we can control this from the P4. So this is the track I've been working on. This is called Unified. So obviously this is part of the build-up here. So traditionally you could use the keyboard here or the mouse to solo out some of these channels. So this is the main lead that's coming in here. By clicking solo there, adjusting the faders here, adjusting the left and right pan with the mouse. That's traditionally what most people do who haven't got a MIDI keyboard. But if you've set up your keyboard correctly and you've set this remote bass, if we go over to the P4 here, the yellow indicator indicates exactly where we've got focus to start with. So remember, we've only got a limited amount of channels to control here. So if I click here on one of these buttons, you can see it's soloing 8 and 9 channel strips within reason. So there's a button here to the right called toggle and mute, so you can play between muting particular channels, soloing them or selecting them. So we're just going to go for solo for a second. So if we play this again, so we'll keep 8 in there and pull in some of the other channels where we're auditioning it. And obviously in here you can control the fader as well. So you see that moving. You push it all the way to the top. You can correct that with control click. Set it back to default. The other options you've got up here are, so again on channel 8 you'll notice here I'm adjusting the left and right pan on that particular channel through the keyboard as well. So you've got quite a lot of control there, using the P4 to control the mix channels on the SSL mixer. But then if you remember, we set remote bass by just right clicking on the channel strip and choosing set remote bass channel. Well, you probably don't want to be doing that as you're fluidly trying to mix your track or focusing in on particular channels. So there is a way you can control this with the P4. And this is just the way I've done it. There's probably other ways, so comment below if you know of a better way of controlling this. But if you go to options and choose additional remote overrides, if you scoot down the bottom here, there is a next remote bass channel and a previous remote bass channel. So we just select next, we're going to choose edit. And there are a couple of PB assign buttons on the P4. So I'm going to use PB2 to go next. So you simply press it and Reason detects that and it will set that particular control on the right control surface. And then we're going to do previous as well. So we click edit and we're just going to click PB1 to do that. So now you'll notice we've got focus on synth 3 for the remote bass channel. If I press the right PB2, we're going to scoot over to the right, scoot again, and then back to the left with PB1 if we want to do that. So now I can move between all my different blocks here of my synth, my percussion, right up to my bass, my kick, effects and vocals, literally without touching the actual keyboard at all, just using the P4 to be able to control that. So as an example, if we play that again, I can move this along. Let's scoot back to the percussion section. Just solo the clap, stutter, the hats. Obviously it's about to build up here, but if we move the track along, again you can do all this. If you've got a P4, you'll know you don't have to use the mouse. You can scoot to various places in the track by using the keyboard. So let's choose when it kicks back in. So obviously here now we've just got the percussion soloed out. As I said before, you can toggle that to a mute. We can take out the percussion altogether. I'm going to scoot back over and take out the bass line. So that's just a quick video really on using the remote bass channel in Reason and how you can manipulate most of the SSL here, certainly the bottom strips anyway here with the levels, the panning, and also muting and solo then when you're auditioning the sounds. And that's literally without touching the keyboard or the mouse. If you like the video, please subscribe. There'll be more coming through the next few months.